Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk about the whole question I keep getting again and again. Is there going to be a $1,400 fourth stimulus check in 2025? Let's clear up the confusion once and for all. So first off, I know people have been asking about this constantly, whether in the comments, emails, or during live streams. It's understandable. Times have been tough, especially if you're living on a fixed income, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA benefits, you name it. When your monthly check doesn't go as far as it used to, of course you want to know if there's help on the way. But let's talk straight. Remember back in January when there was that batch of $1,400 checks going out? That wasn't a new stimulus. That was the IRS sending out retroactive payments to about 1 million people who hadn't gotten them years ago. It was basically a cleanup operation. That's why you might have heard about checks going out but didn't see anything new passed or approved. And that's caused a lot of confusion. I get it. People see $1 for 100 checks in the news and think, wait, did Congress approve another round? But no, those were just catch-up payments, not a new program. Now, about 2025. Let's look at the bigger picture. This year's been full of change already. New administration. New Congress. The Republicans control both chambers now. Is that good or bad? Depends on your perspective. But it does change the landscape for passing any new stimulus. Still, let's be fair. Even in the past, when people said, oh, this group will never approve stimulus, well, guess what? We got $1,800 in 2 rounds under them back in 2020. Politics isn't always predictable. But here's the real issue. Stimulus checks don't happen just because we ask, or because we tell them how badly people are struggling. I wish that's how it worked, but it doesn't. The real driver is the economy itself. When things go bad economically, when the economy asks for help, that's when Congress listens. Kind of weird, right? We tell them we can't afford groceries or rent, and they say, sorry. But when the economy falters, they're like, sure. How many trillions do you need? They'll print it and hand it over to keep things from collapsing. That's what it really comes down to. And right now, the economic signals are mixed. Some data looks strong, some is pretty weak. We've been seeing this split for a while. It's hard to say exactly when the next big downturn will hit. But the longer we go without a reset, the more likely it is that the next one will be harsh enough to trigger serious action, like another round of stimulus. When the economy finally cracks, meaning layoffs rise, hiring slows, the Fed cuts interest rates aggressively, that's when stimulus becomes much more likely. Because they'll want to jumpstart things. Look, you don't need to track all this economic data every day. That's what I'm doing for you. CPI, jobs numbers, Fed meetings, I'm watching it all. My goal is to let you know when the warning lights start flashing, and it looks like help might actually be on the way. Because let's be honest, for years now, inflation's been brutal, interest rates have been high, and the cost of living just keeps eating away at those fixed benefits. It's not that your check actually shrank, but what it buys sure did. We all feel that. Your shopping cart's emptier than it was a few years ago. And that's not going to change until something big forces a change. Usually, that means a recession. It's the painful truth. A recession is the thing that resets prices, forces the Fed to cut rates, and often leads Congress to approve new spending to prop everything back up, including direct payments to people. That's how it always goes. The economy has cycles, boom and bust. It's normal. But these days the cycles have been so stretched out that when the bust finally comes, it could be messier than usual. And ironically, that's when the door opens for stimulus checks again. So if you're wondering, when will they finally do something? The answer is, when they have no other choice. When the economy is hurting enough that stimulus isn't just an option, it's the only option. Until then, I'll keep watching all of it for you. That's why I make these videos. If something big changes, you'll hear it here.
If you found this helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. It's free and it makes a big difference. And if you know someone else who's wondering about this topic, feel free to share this video with them. Thanks so much for watching, for trusting me to keep you informed, and for being part of this community. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.